Welcome to my first example of live Ruby music. For this example, I will be using live Ruby coding, an application called Tweet a Sound by Andrew Spitz, and I'll be using a little Mac app called MIDI Patch Bay that just patches the live Ruby code straight to the Tweet a Sound. So, to start, like I said, you'll need Tweet a Sound, which when you first get to the page looks like this. It's created by Sound Plus Designs, Andrew Spitz. Worth checking out the website. The way you set this up is you just open it up. Here you can change all sorts of sounds, instrumentation, create your own sounds based off of modulation. For this example, I'll just use a sound called rim jar, and you can click it so you can hear that it creates some kind of sound. Now what MIDI Patch Bay does is just patches the Ruby code straight to the Tweet a Sound, which you can do straight through the MIDI setup. Gives you an option from Tweet a Sound 1.1 is my option. What you'll need is these 3 lines of code, or these 3 files, which are released on pasties.org. It's a music RB file, which just talks to your sound card directly. This runs on PC, Mac, and Linux. A scales RB file, which talks to a scales library, which I'll show, and the song player, which is this. Now, in its simplest form, literally, it just creates a sequence. You tell it to do it a number of times. It turns the note on, picks a channel, which happens to be 0 for this example. This allows you to send multiple sounds to multiple channels to create orchestras, things like that. And then a scale, and it currently just grabs a scale and randomizes by the scale, and then randomizes the velocity of the scale. Plays it for a second, up to a second to 2 seconds, randomizes the sound. You can change this, for example, to just do 1 second. You want the note to play for 12 seconds every time. You can do that. To add variation, though, I just do 1, randomize it by 1, plus 1, creates sound, and then it turns the note off. So when you create a scale or a song, you pick how many notes you want, 24, and in the scales library I was talking about, looks like this. And you can just go through, look through it, pick a scale you want. We'll say double harmonic. To save myself typing it out, I can just go here, do that, and then just run it. And as you can hear and see, it's sending the music to the Tweet Sound live. And if you look down here, you can see the notes actually moving and playing. Now, I made a little more advanced one. All it requires is the MIDI library and MIDI lib sequence. And I call it, this one's just called play. And the only difference here is we'll say 50, play to minor. And it plays it. And what's cool is you can actually, because you can trigger multiple, you can create, patterns. And the fact that this is playing live, you can literally change the sound while the song's playing. this shows that it's running through TextMate. And what the advanced one does is this: when it's done playing, it actually spits out all the notes that it played for you, and it actually makes a live recording based off the time that you started doing your recording, and then saves it so you could actually use the file and stick it in other editors, re-perform it, remix it with different sounds, things like that. So that's Tweet a Sound being played live through Ruby code. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'll show you one more thing. So what you can now do is, if you wanted to create more of a fluctuation of songs, you could do something like this, where it plays 10, within that 10 there, and we'll say 5. And we want the middle one to be a major. So I hope that shows you a little bit what Ruby Live Music can do. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be creating more files, updating it, building more applications. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks. Goodbye.